but I kind of want to open it up to the group today to see what's on y'all's mind. What's on y'all's mind today? Problems, issues, questions, dilemmas, concerns. I can keep going on and on. What a nice sweater you have on.
21 online.
What do we call that? Passive marketing. Does anybody have an issue of the day that's something that's been on their mind? Okay. Well, if something comes into your mind, just blurt it out, okay? But I'll kind of so Jay, you're the idea maker today. So what are examples of passive marketing? So let's first define what we mean by passive marketing, okay? So Philip, ring.
Hello?
Hey Philip, was wondering if you've thought about buying or selling a home this year.
Who is this?
Okay, that would be called active marketing. Why is it called active? Because I can control how many people I speak to in a day. Okay, I can control that by dialing the numbers. Okay, active works, but some people don't like doing that. Is there anybody in the room that might say they fall into that category where you really don't like cold calling people?
I do.
Okay, Greg, you do a lot of cold calling?
No.
You just going to dial like the Atlanta Realtors Association roster today and, hey, this is Greg.
I prefer not to.
Have you ever had a mortgage person prospect you like that? You have? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's active marketing. You can control your response rate. So examples of that, of active, would be phone. What would be another example of active?
Direct mail.
Yeah, you can control how many people get your piece of mail. That'll tend to borderline a little bit on passive, but we'll go with that right now. What's another example of active prospecting?
Door to door.
Door to door, good. How about events? If you go to an event, like a networking event, I speak to tonight?
Yes.
I can. Why? This gets better results than this. Why? Well, because with passive, you can't control it. Jay has a sweater on. And stand up, let everybody see your sweater. So it's a nice sweater. But can Jay control how much today?
If she stays home.
If she stays home, she can make sure nobody sees it, right? Okay, so that would be one way. But can she control the results? No, she's just kind of hoping that somebody that wants to buy or sell a house notices it, or that she reinforces with people, her peeps, that she sells houses for a living, right? But she doesn't really know if it's working. She doesn't really know how many people even noticed it today. She might know how many people commented on it, but she doesn't know what impact it made on people. It's just ongoing. So because you can control it, active always works better than passive. Well, then why wouldn't everybody just do active?
It's hard.
It's hard. They don't want to. Why don't people call you back? You ever left a message for somebody they didn't call you back? Why don't they call you back?
They're not interested.
They don't want to talk to you. That's why people, they're not too busy. So the next time, I hate this, right? Oh, sorry, Brandon, I've been meaning to call you back. I've just been so busy this week. That's bullshit. Nobody's that busy. I know nobody that's that busy. I'm not that busy. You know who I don't call back? People I don't want to talk to. Why don't people just do active in our business? They don't want to. They're uncomfortable doing that. In which case, I say, okay, there is another reason. It's not appropriate. Okay? So you have a 7-year-old son, plays Little League football. You go to football practice tonight. I'm going to pretend like I'm Jay, okay? Jay's a parent at football practice tonight. Hey, Jay, I'm Mike Pruitt. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Jay, I sell houses for a living. I'm just wondering if you've thought about buying or selling a house this year. Have you?
No.
No? Rates are really low. If I had a lender that was offering you a 3.5% interest rate and pay for your appraisal and waive their origination fees, would you reconsider that?
Keep in mind.
Okay, great. How about if I found you a really great deal? Would you be available this week to go take a look at it with me?
Probably not.
Is Jay like me more or less as I keep going? Less. It's not appropriate. Okay? Siobhan, we're at church Sunday morning. Okay? Right? Service hasn't started yet. Okay? I'm going right down the pews, right? Down the rows. Put my business card here. Here's my business card. Okay, great. You call me if I can help you buy or sell a house. Okay?
Okay.
Appropriate? No. Creepy. Does that make her like me more or less? Less. It's not appropriate. Siobhan, we're at church Sunday morning and you walk past my car in the parking lot and I have a Century 21 sign magnet sign on the side of my car. Are you offended?
No.
You're not? Are you offended that Jay has a Century 21 sweater on right now?
Not at all.
No. Some things, some active things with some groups of people aren't appropriate. Greg, you like to play golf, right?
Yes.
Can you imagine if this Friday, after you get done playing golf in the afternoon, you go into the men's grill, because Greg likes the men's. They're going to name that after the bar in there. They're going to name it after Greg one day. And Greg will do. See, I'm going to tell stories on because he made the mistake inviting me out one time. Greg will tell you, I only have one drink. And he does. The damn thing is like this big. It's this giant 30-ounce tumbler, but he only has one.
Gee, thanks.
Can you imagine Friday afternoon if you walked around and all the guys that are sitting in there and you handed them out your business card and you say, hey, look, if you want to refinance your house, you give me a call, okay? How would that go over?
Not good.
It would be appropriate. It pushes people away from us. So this is where passive kicks in. Siobhan can walk past my car in the church parking lot and see my sign magnet on the side of my car and doesn't give it a second thought. Oh, Mike's here. Mike sells real estate. Yeah. It doesn't really make her go, oh, now that's not cool. But if I walk around during the church before the service and hand out cards, active, that's not cool. If Jay goes to Little League football practice tonight and has her sweater on, the other parent's going to be offended? Well, somebody might actually say, so you sell houses for a living. I'm at my gym one morning and we've got this class, and this morning, that particular morning, they've got us on those stationary bikes, right? And we've got Mrs. Hitler for an instructor, right? And she's got the headset on. She's screaming into it all the time. And she's killing us. And right in the middle of all of it, she looks at me and she goes, because I have a shirt on. They like us to have clothes on when we're in the gym. They're funny about it that way. I think, well, if I've got to wear clothes, I might as well put a logo on it. So I have the logo, just like she does on my shirt. I'm soaked in sweat, and this bitch is just yelling at us, and faster, harder. And she looks at me and she goes, what's that? And she points right at the shirt. And I look and I go, Century 21? She goes, oh, is that what that is? Through her microphone, there's 100 people in this class. And she goes, so, like, you work there? And I'm like, And I'm sweating, I can't breathe. And she goes, so you sell houses? And I'm like, yeah, can you yell a little bit louder, please? What? She's doing a whole commercial for me as the class is going on. Why? Because I had a logo on my shirt. How could I have done a commercial for the whole class? I couldn't have. I couldn't have. So I like to play golf. There's 1,000 people that are members of my golf club. And some of them live in some really nice houses. And some of them want to buy really nice houses. And I'd like them to do it with us, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, well, how do you get them to do that? Well, passive marketing is a way that you can reach people appropriately when you couldn't do it any other way. Like, if I cold called the guys at my golf club, that would just be weird. Like, I'm their friend. Why? Hey, Zoe, it's Mike from the golf club. How are you tonight?
Fine.
You're fine?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Isn't it beautiful outside this time of year?
Sure.
Do you just want to throw up on the floor yet? The fake enthusiasm. Like, do you want to be that guy? I don't. So Zoe, it's just a quick call, which it's really not, but it's just a quick call to see, are you impressed in thinking about buying a house in the next year?
No.
You're not? Even with historically low interest rates?
No.
What is wrong with you guys? It's a creepy, a lot of good companies. People do business with you. Your customers don't really care what company you're with. They're doing business with you. Greg, Federal Savings Bank is a fine company, okay? But my relationship, and I think most people's relationship in here, isn't with Federal Savings Bank. And if you want to have your president call me, I'll be glad to tell him that the day you lose Greg is the day you lose me.
Now, he has personal credibility, but when you combine Greg's personal credibility with company credibility, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger, right? Now, if Greg affiliated with a company that had a poor reputation or low customer awareness, consumer awareness, could Greg still do okay? He probably would, because Greg has strong individual skills. He'll probably always do well, but could he do better? So here's the thing you got going for you. Your brand has 97% consumer awareness around the world, which puts it in an iconic category, which very few brands have, and you cannot create for yourself. So when you hear somebody out there in the marketplace talking about branding yourself, lock the button on your pocket, button it. They're about to take your wallet out of your pocket. They are about to try to make money off of you. You can't brand yourself. There, I said it. I'm talking to the camera. You can't brand yourself. It's all bullshit. You don't have enough money. You used to work for a radio station. The radio station could brand themselves. Which radio station did you work on?
Well,
What's the big one?
Oh, Star 94.
Star 94.
And you know what? You just touched on something. They're not Star 94, they're Star 94-1. But they've only been Star 94-1 for about 2 years.
Well, I know who Star 94 is, and I grew up on that. I know what kind of music they play. I don't know you, but I know Star 94. And if you were the program, were you the station manager?
Yeah,
Partner? You were all of it.
But no, I was off air,
Oh.
for the most part, yeah.
So you now have credibility because you had a significant position in Star 94.
In that industry, sure.
No, I'm a consumer. I recognize Star 94. If you were in a management team at Star 94, you must know what you're doing. That's what I think. Does he know what he's doing? But I think you do.
I'm in real estate today, so what does that?
I will give you the credibility until you lose it, okay? That's what a brand can do for you. When Jay wears a sweater that says Century 21 on it, what it says without her having to say it is, I sell real estate. I can help you buy or sell a house. That's what it says. When it's not appropriate for her to be saying it, the branded clothing says it for her. So what do I do with the guys at my golf club? Branded merchandise. I give them golf balls. I don't just give them golf balls. Radio stations are great at this. They give out all kinds of crap, right? How many koozies do you have in your house that have some other company on the koozies? I got a whole drawer full of those. Do you guys? You ever open that drawer and go, where did we get all this crap from? People like me and radio stations, we give it away. Why? When I give out golf balls at my club with Century 21 logo on them, what am I saying?
Call me when you want to buy or sell a house.
Don't forget, I sell real estate. But I'm saying it in a fun way. I do something like this. This is a sleeve of golf balls, okay? Hey, Brandon, corporate sends me this shit and tells me to give it away. Will you play these? You're supposed to catch it. That's why I picked a guy. We pick a real guy. Hey, Rob, corporate sends me this stuff and tells me to give it away. Will you play these golf balls? Here, you will. Good, good. Corporate doesn't send me anything but a bill, okay? But it makes it easy for him to take. When he takes it, he sees my logo on it, he doesn't go, I'm so offended. I play golf with Greg. Greg gave me a sleeve of Federal Savings Bank golf balls. Did I throw them back at you?
No.
Now, this is inappropriate, Greg. Don't ever do this again. No, I get it. I get it. So I want to tell you a little quick example. So I'm playing golf several months ago, and one of the guys in our group, now look, I don't just give out golf balls. I either have it on my shirt or I wear a cap. But I don't do both. Why? Because I don't want to look like a NASCAR driver, right? There is a line you can cross, but now you're over the top. So if Jay has the side magnets on her cars, and she has the sweater on, and she has a hat on, and she's giving away merchandise, damn girl, back down a little bit, okay? We get it already, right? So there's a line there. You have to. If you have any social skills, you'll kind of feel when you're getting over the top, okay? So we're playing and we're on one of the greens putting out, and one of the guys in the group I didn't know very well, didn't really know him at all, so he's just being a nice guy. He just looks at me and goes, so Mike, what do you do for a living? And before I have a chance to respond, one of the other guys in the group looks at him and goes, well, what the hell do you think he does for a living? Look at his shirt. Look at your golf ball. And the guy looks at me and goes, oh, I'm such an idiot. You sell houses. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. He's a jerk. And so these guys are having a whole conversation about what I do for a living. I haven't said a word. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. That's what you want. That's what passive marketing will do for you. So what are you doing today that's passive in nature? Because what I would say to Jay is it a little chilly around here sometimes?
All the time.
All the time, okay. So it's a big space, but you know these floor-to-ceiling windows, aren't they great? They let in a lot of natural light and kind of liven the place up a little bit. There's an energy to it. You know what they also do? They also radiate cold and heat. So we're never going to get the temperature right. I'd like to tell you we are, but we're never going to get it right. And my office is either freezing or brutally hot. Why? Because I got nothing but a wall of windows. It's not the point. Jay, so you want to have a sweater on to be more comfortable. If she's going to wear a sweater anyhow, doesn't it make sense that she sees if she gets anything out of it? Why not? It is a why not. So what else? What are other forms of passive marketing? Branded clothing, branded merchandise, sign magnets on your car. Who has sign magnets on their car right now? It's sitting out in the parking lot. Criminal. Criminal not to do that. Why don't you?
I don't, because the way I drive.
That's my answer right there.
I know, that's the number one reason. There's two reasons. Because of your ego. Some people think that's not cool. Like, It's not me. The other reason is I don't want people out on the road to have my name and phone number. I don't have them on my car either. But when I go to church on Sunday mornings, I do. And you don't think that is a strategy? Now, you can scoff at my strategy, but I get there early and you can't get into my church without walking by my car. Now, Zoe, am I going to burn in hell for that? My wife thinks I am. She hates that. She goes, I don't like that. It's intentional, it's manipulative, Jesus knows what you're doing. Absolutely. I'm not dealing with that at all. And on the scale of all the things I've done wrong, that is so far down the list, I'll take my chances, okay? I don't want the signs on my car on Georgia 400 because I don't want people to know who I am for good reasons. Okay, but when I go to a restaurant, hey look, they stick on and they pull right off. I keep them on the floor behind the driver's seat. When I get out of the car, I stick them on the door. And when I get back in the car, I pull them off. Why? Because if I'm going to go to Brookwood Grill for lunch, I'd like to stick a billboard in the parking lot for that hour. Why not? Well, here's what people say. Oh, that's stupid. That won't work. That's silly. That's pathetic marketing. Yeah, but I always have one answer. So why not? So if I park my car there and I don't put them out, I know what'll happen, nothing. But if I put them out there, I don't know, maybe somebody parks next to me that does need to sell a house. It didn't cost me anything. They're $15. Isn't that what they are? They're more?
They're a little bit more.
Like, how much?
Maybe 30?
30? 40? Tell you what, we'll work out a payment plan for you, okay? We'll break it up over 12 months. You pay me $3 a month for 12 months. Deal? What is another example of passive marketing?
Open houses.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. You're just kind of hoping for people to drive by. Now, I get that there's some marketing things like Facebook promotions and that type of thing, but you really can't control how many people come to your open houses, right?
Right.
Right. What's another example?
Sponsorships.
Sponsorship. So, Phil, what do?
We sponsored the Centennial High School band
Why?
because I'm a former band geek and I like that, what the music program does for kids.
What do you hope it happens?
So I'm hoping some parents will eventually reach out. We've got someone who's reached out and is working with us as a buyer, but really it's also instilling goodwill in the community.
Yeah, it's not an unreasonable hope, is it? If I have kids at that school and one of my kids is in band and you're sponsoring the band, you're doing something nice for my kid, I can see that connection, right? What's another form of passive marketing?
Your email address.
Your email address. Very good, Zoe. Address and signature stamp. And let's just finish there, because I get passionate about this. How many people, quick show of hands, how many people are using their Century 21 email address for all communication? Tell me why you're not. If you're not, tell me why you're not.
But her emails.
But
her emails.
her emails?
Yeah, Secretary of State went through a huge kerfuffle about that, mixing her personal versus professional.
Okay, well, you're not that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying that
There's
a cautionary.
a big gap there between real estate agent
Sure.
and Secretary of State, so a little privacy stuff. Somebody tell me why you've chosen to use your Gmail account for everything. Okay, so here's the answer, okay? Because I might not always be with Century 21, and I don't want to have to start over with a whole new email address. I get it. I used to do that too. I thought the same way. You're missing out on a huge advantage. And the advantage is, there are some things, though I'll be one of the first ones to tell you, not close to everything. People are doing business with you, Rob, there's no doubt. But 97% of consumers worldwide recognize the brand and know what it does. That puts it into a category with Coca-Cola, Nike, and McDonald's. The next closest brand with consumer recognition is Remax at 47%. Think about that gap. Why? Because we're better than everybody else. No, we're not better than everybody else. Companies aren't better than people or other companies. The people might be. Our office is very different than any other Century 21. There's another one here in Atlanta. Rob, you've been at both. Are we remotely similar? Are we better? We're not better. We're just different. Why? The people are different. You might feel drawn to one or the other. That's fine. People are different. Why do we have 97% consumer awareness worldwide? We're the oldest real estate franchise in the industry. We were the first one. We've been around longer. We're in 83 countries. We have 131,000 associates worldwide. People know, we're like the Golden Arches. People just know who we are. When I communicate with my golf buddies with my Century 21 email address, it says, Mike sells houses. Mike sells houses, Mike sells houses, Mike sells houses. And then my signature stamp reinforces that. And it gives me a chance to deliver a passive, customized message with every email I send. I don't have any other email accounts. I have a Gmail account. I only use that for that online stuff. So if I'm buying something and you want my email address, yeah, you're going to get my Gmail account. Because I don't want all that solicitation junk coming in. I don't want to see it. Make sense? But I don't care what it is. If it's a neighborhood party, if it's business, if it's my Rotary Club, if it's my golf buddies, everybody, I use my Century 21 email address. Because every time you get a message from me, it says, Mike sells houses. And you should too. If for no other reason, why not? And that's what passive marketing is all about. It's just the why not. You needed to wear a sweater anyhow or freeze, right? You got to go to now they're into basketball. You got to, if you showed up naked, that wouldn't get attention. Don't do that. Okay, I want to be on record. Where's Yazlene? She's sick today, right? Okay. Keep your clothes on, okay? But if you got to have clothes on, why not be delivering an appropriate message at the same time?Hy not? What'd that cost you?
I'm not sure, maybe 40 bucks.
Because you're finicky about the clothes.
I'm super finicky about the clothes, not wearing something like this.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's a nice place to.
For all of you that don't want to cold call people, for all of you that don't want to door knock people, for all of you that don't want to spend money and time doing a big mailing, that's fine. I think that in the course of your life, every day, so Steve, you have no branded clothing on today. So when you go to lunch today, nobody knows what you do for a living. You don't have that opportunity.
Or a name tag, maybe.
Name tag's another piece of passive marketing. So Jay was really clever. When she didn't have branded clothing on, she would put her name tag on. And you want people to go, hey Jay, are you still at work? You go, oh, you know I put that on in the morning, I completely forget it's there. I'm so sorry, you take it off. Get out of jail free. Yeah, always something going on. Everywhere you go. Why not? Does that make sense? I had a guy come up to me, and we'll stop here. A guy come up to me at my golf club last spring, and I know the guy. I mean, I'd seen him around, but I didn't know his name. He comes over to me, he's on the other side of the room, and he's pointing at me, he's like, I need to talk to you. Okay, so, just, you okay? He goes, yeah, but I need to talk to you. I said, what's going on? He goes, no, let's find someplace private to talk. I'm like, oh, shit, what did I do? So we go into this room, he goes, so, like, my daughter's getting divorced. I'm like, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm still trying to figure out what this has to do with me. I don't even know, I don't know you, dude. I definitely don't know your daughter. He goes, no, like, she caught her husband cheating on her, and, like, I know my daughter, and this ain't gonna work out. And she can't afford the house. Oh, now I know where we're going. Right? He goes, can you help us? I'm like, sure. He goes, good. When my wife and I were talking about it this morning, and I told her, I said, I'm going to see Mike tonight at the club, and I'll talk to him, and we'll get a plan worked out for this. I don't know this guy's name, but he's talking to his wife about me, and that he knows he'll see me tonight, and we'll work out a plan, and we'll get this handled for his daughter, right? Because this is how dads are, right? Like, I'm going to take care of my daughter now. I'm going to handle this for her. Right. I don't know this guy's name. How does he know me? Because we do this, and this will happen, and I'm telling you this not to try to get you to play golf, it's not important, but this will happen in different forms of your life. Do you ever get included in big group thread emails where somebody's sending out a message to a whole group of people, but they didn't blank copy everybody, they CC'd everybody? You ever see that? And what do some people do? They reply to all? Does that drive you crazy? Oh, that's me. Oh, I'm replying to all. And I know you might say, hey dude, you don't need to reply to everybody. I'm like, oh, yeah, I do. I'm replying to everybody. Get your stamp at the bottom. And you can say, hey Mike, you don't need to reply to all. And I'm like, gosh, hit the wrong button, guys, I'm sorry. That was another message out to the whole group. Hit the wrong button, sorry, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Don't CC a whole group if you don't want somebody to reply to all. That's how that guy knew me. He had seen me on group email exchanges like that. He didn't really know me, he just thought he did. And I was connected to him on social media, so he's seeing my stuff all the time. The guy felt like he knew me. I didn't even know his name. So people can scoff at passive marketing all they want. I just see it work too many times. And I also know this, there's just some people you can't do anything else with. It's the only appropriate way to market to them. Make sense? Questions?